My check 1 2 1 2. My check 1 2 1 2. What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again, once again. You already know what it is, baby. Instant classic in the making. If this is your first time to a Dr. Mike TV channel, make sure you subscribe, make sure you're notified, make sure you do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the good docs content. All of my good stuff shall be listed in the links in the description area below. Official time check, ladies and gentlemen. Where let's see where we at. 8:41 p.m. Eastern time, which makes it about 7:41 Central, which makes it about what? Shit, 5:41 for everybody repping that West Coast, and of course, 9:41 in the a.m. Philippine Standard Time. Wherever you guys are reporting in the world today, maraming salamat sa lahat, and thank you guys for joining the Good Doc on this particular stream today. All right. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, let me get some ones, let me get some thumbs. All right. To make sure the vocals are loud and clear, let me get some ones, let me get some thumbs so that I know that you guys can hear your boy in the nosebleeds. I do not want to go into this topic of conversation without at least knowing people can hear me. Like I said, I'm not sure how many of you guys are in the chat right now, but whoever is here with me, I need some likes. Definitely some likes. I'm sorry, but I need some ones or I need some thumbs to make sure the boys coming through loud and clear because I have a very interesting story that I want to share. All right, shout out to my man Tim H. What's good with you, brother? And my man King, I see you in the building. Mm. If the good doc is coming through loud and clear, I will not take forever to get to the point. Matter of fact, though, man, before I get into it, YouTube is crazy, man. I can only see my likes. I can't see my dislikes. I don't know if that's because of like personal reasons. Maybe people have been complaining about how many dislikes they get on a video or some shit. You know, how sensitive the world has become. People crying about the dislike button. Like, oh my God, I can't believe somebody disliked my video. Literally, the only thing I can see right now is the likes. I can't even tell you how many people dislike my shit. Shout out to my man A Dub, bro. I don't know if you still down in Mexico, fam, but yo, I just wanted to reach out to you. I did send you that email, but I appreciate you locking in, man. Good to hear from you, man. It has been a while. You should reach out to me in the email, man, and let's chop it up for a minute. Red, I'm glad that I got you too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys can hear me loud and clear, I will not be on very long. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Doc always comes to his audience when he has a story to tell. Kind of like how Biggie Smalls used to do that song back in the day, I got a story to tell. Every time I got a story to tell, and I find it to be an interesting story for myself, I always got to make sure that I bring it to the audience. All right. So today's title, ladies and gentlemen, is she waited until the second date to tell me she had a BF, but the reason was definitely an interesting one. Okay, so I met this girl a while back, man. Steve, what's going on, man? He said I'm a new subscriber. O'Shea sent me. Shout out to my big brother O'Shea. Steve, good to see you in the building, brother. But you guys know, man, I spent a lot of time overseas, spent a lot of time in the Philippines, and during my younger years, I did a lot of dating, right? I can tell you I've dated the good, the bad, the ugly. The first ever date I ever went on in the Philippines, a young lady bought her cousin. I ended up treating her and her cousin. I ended up having to eat Jollibee, which I didn't like at the time. Ended up watching a Tagalog movie that I fucking hated. So my first ever dating experience in the Philippines was definitely one for the books on the negative aspect. So I've had some good ones. I've had some bad ones. But I'm a man. A Dub says I'm still been in Mexico since December last year. Been in the U.S. He said, and I've been in the U.S. over a month now. Missed my first appointment in Detroit because of cancellations in Charlotte. It was on the news. Okay, brother. But it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you, man. We definitely need to chop it up. But back to the topic at hand. I've had good dating experiences. I've had bad ones, but this one was just different, right? This particular dating situation was different. So I met this girl. I met her at the mall, right? I approached her. I said, "Hi, how you doing?" We was having fun. Just it seemed like the conversation was going well. All right, seems like the conversation was going pretty good. So I asked her for a phone number. Bam. We ended up getting together the first time, right? Conversation was awesome, right? We ate at Jollibee. It was either Jollibee or McDo, one of them quick places, right? So nothing too expensive, nothing that was gonna break the good doc's bank. Okay. But we ate there, and normally on date number one, no. Not this. Actually, this is not what happened. You would be surprised. This one does not turn out about anything sexual, ironically. But let me get back to it because y'all keep fucking up my train of thought. So, date number one went well. Everything was good. Normally, what I would do is I would invite a girl back to the spot or invite her to go kick it somewhere alone. But this particular day, I didn't have the time to do it. So I was just kind of like, yo, let's have a conversation. Let's chill. Loved it. It was great. So here I am on date number two, right? Here I am on date number two. I'm thinking everything's going well. Conversation is still live. It's active. It's not, I'm on my phone. She's on her phone. We're definitely, in the conversation with each other. I can tell she's having a good time. And, I'm having a good time. I can tell she's having a good time. But she gets a text message on her phone and she looks and her whole demeanor starts changing and shit. Like her whole demeanor just fucking changes on me. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe baby girl got some bad news, right? Maybe baby girl got some bad news. Like, okay, she got a text message, maybe somebody died. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on without intruding. I'm not trying to ask her all these types of questions and shit. I'm not trying to be up in her ass. If you want to tell me, she'll tell me, right? But here you go. So she looks at her phone, she sends a text message back, she puts her phone down and she's looking distraught. And of course I'm gonna ask you, are you okay? Is everything all right? Like, is everything okay? You're cool, is everything good with the family? What's going on? So she's like, I gotta tell you something. And every single time some bitch tell you they gotta tell you something, it ain't never good, right? It's never good. Never, 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 never good. Okay. And so I'm like, all right, fuck it, man. As long as she don't tell me that she a chick with a dick or something, I think I can take just about anything. As long as she don't tell me she a lady boy and this and fucking magical surprise or some shit. Surprise, bitch, my dick bigger than yours. I think I can take it, right? So what she did, right, is she's like, I gotta tell you something. And I'm like, what's up? She's like, I got a boyfriend, right? But when she said boyfriend, she said it kind of funny. Like she drugged that shit out. She's like, I got a boyfriend. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so this bitch just used me for like some free meals and stuff. So I'm kind of in my feelings, right? Kind of in my feelings. I'm about to buck and shit. I'm thinking, yo, this bitch just trying to play me for a free meal. I said, damn, man, she could have had a whole lot more if she kicked it and stuck with your boy a little bit longer. Again, I was a little bit fresh in the country, so I still had a fair amount of experience and a fair amount of learning to go. But she was like, she's like, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I'm embarrassed and I'm shy. And I was like, well, you got a boyfriend. So I'm thinking, I got to get up and leave. I'm like, man, fuck this bitch. I don't want anything to do with her. But she says, I want to show you a picture of my boyfriend. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? So what the fuck you want to show me your dude for? Like, I give a fuck. Like, I could care less what he looks like, right? That's what I'm thinking in my head. I could care less what he looks like. She shows me a picture. Now, she shows me the picture real quick, right? And I said, hold up, time out, rewind, back it up. Let me see that shit one more time. She shows me the picture again. Come to find out, baby girl's in a relationship with a tomboy. So when she was saying boyfriend, she was literally saying, this is my boyfriend, but like not my boyfriend. So I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, so this is your man's, right? So this is apparently your dude. I'm like, I'm like, yo, why didn't you tell me? And she was like, well, the thing is, my boyfriend is super possessive. And in all honesty, I learned this a lot over the years about how possessive, when women to women relationships can be and how aggressive like tomboys can be with their girlfriends. Like they don't want no dudes, no dicks around at all because they look at dicks as temptation and they do not want their women to be tempted at all. right? They don't want no dicks around at all. A tomboy who has sworn off penis their whole life, they're not looking to have any dudes around. So they're very possessive of their girls, right? And they'll pay a lot for their girls. They'll do anything that their girl asks for. They'll buy stuff. They'll hang around. They'll escort them to their classes. They'll do lesbian Filipinas or tomboys in the Philippines, bro. They do not like penis around at all. Like it's a no penis zone, especially when it comes to their females, right? So here's what happened. I'm thinking to myself, okay, so here's my thought process. I'm like, fuck it, man. I was like, yo, I said maybe me, you, and your homegirl could do something. So I'm just being funny, right? I was fucking with her, right? I was like, yo, maybe me, you, and your homeboy could do something, aka me, you, and your homegirl. So, it became a topic of conversation. I tried to make her laugh about it, but she was like dead ass serious. And she was like really apprehensive about it, almost as if her people didn't know that she was flirting along those lines, man. Like her people didn't know that she was really into girls, right? Apparently, this was her hang up. Like her dating me was a front, for lack of a better term. It was kind of like a front because it was a front, but it wasn't because she expressed interest in liking me, but she's like, yo, I still care for this person. And she was kind of confused. And I mean, this is something that I normally don't deal with on a regular basis. I've never been in a situation where a girl was in the middle and she's trying to choose between me and her tomboy girlfriend. And the entire time she's expressing how much she likes me and our time together, blah, 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 whoopty doo. But she's like, yo, I care about this girl. I mean, she's done everything for me. She's bought me everything that I wanted. She's doing all this for me, and I love her, and blah, 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 blah. You hear it all the time, right? You hear it all the time. And at this point, she starts to come to tears. I said, hold up, bitch, don't cry. Don't cry, because people gonna think I did something to you. Don't cry, boo. Don't cry. Right? Don't cry. And I'm thinking, I said, yo, it's okay, it's cool. Right? Now, I think the proper terminology in the United States for a dude that might be on the flexi side, I think if a dude that might be flexible is dating a girl, I think they call the girl her beard or his beard or something like that, man. Somebody told me that shit before. Like if a dude faking the funk and he's with a girl and he ain't really into the girl or nothing, and they call the girl his beard. I don't know what they call it in the Philippines, but basically, baby girl just needed a face to kind of save face. Like I need to be seen out in public with a guy so nobody really knows about what's really going on behind the scenes. And I've never met a girl so confused about her sexuality because she's like, I think I still like guys, but I got hurt by this one guy before, and he broke my heart. First time lovers, man. You know how quick Filipinas fall for dudes and stuff. And so some local guy broke her heart in high school, and right after that, she ended up jumping into a relationship with this tomboy chick, and she kind of started falling for her and stuff like that. But having only had one relationship and only been with one guy and lost her virginity to this one particular guy kind of broke her heart, and it really sent her down what would be like a downward spiral. Like she was really doing some bad shit apparently. Like she was getting caught up in like a bad crowd until she started dating this tomboy girl who showed her that you could care and how sensitive and all shit like that, right? So basically, that was her hang up. She didn't know if she still liked dudes or not, but she still wanted to try. But she felt as though if anybody ever seen her, like the tomboy's girlfriends or whatever, if they seen what was going on between me and her, like it would be a situation like baby girl gonna want to try to box your boy up and shit. I'm like, yo, fall back, man. I ain't in the game like that. So it wasn't anything like that. But I told her, I straight up asked her though. I said, look, I said, I know you in a relationship because at this point, I know I'm fucked up because again, I'm still very young. So I want you to really listen to the story and understand my thought process. At this point, I'm thinking, man, I'm not really pressed by some tomboy. I'm not. Right. So I still asked her, I said, shit, at this point, this is date number 2. I told you. I'm thinking, I'm about to tell baby girl, yo, can we, let's slide somewhere, let's chill. Like, let's go hang out. Let's go, kick it with each other and we can see if you still like guys or not. Right. So at this point, she agrees, right? She agrees. She agrees. I'm like, oh shit. I said, girl, you ain't gave up on dick after all. Look at you, girl. Good job, man. Take a one for the team. So So we ended up sliding, chilling, getting back to the spot. And at this point, I'm starting to realize that she's starting to panic a little bit because the tomboy is in her DMs or in her text messages blowing her up like crazy. Miss calling, miss calling, miss calling, miss calling. I think she may have said that she was somewhere where she wasn't supposed to be. And, this girl was like, I'm going to this place right now. I'm going to meet you there. So now baby girl sweating bullets and shit because she said that she want to hang out with me, but the tomboy is trying to look for her. And it's just a whole situation, right? So I said, fuck it, man. Just to avoid problems, issues of any kind, I let you go, right? Because at this point, I didn't really care. I ain't losing no sleep. Ain't losing no sleep over it, right? Not losing any sleep over it at all. Baby girl don't want to rock with Doc at the time. It's okay. Not gonna take. I'm gonna charge it to the game because again, I wasn't mad at her because I felt like her reason was valid, right? Her reason for being skeptical about sharing the fact that she had a boyfriend was kind of a valid reason, just in my opinion. Okay. So I fall back. I say, fuck it. I'm not gonna bother you anymore. I don't want to talk to you. It's good. And now she's getting mad at me because I told her, look, man, you should focus on your relationship, right? Because again, I ain't gonna lie, man. I think at that time I was still talking to like three other girls at the time. So it really didn't bother me that she didn't want to come through and kick it. So I was like, look, it's cool. It's okay. It's fine. Yo, salute. Sayonara. I'm good, love. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Right. And I knew what I was doing when I was doing it, but I didn't really know that it was going to play to my benefit, right? I didn't know it was going to play to my benefit. So by me letting her go, now she feels away, right? And I knew that she felt away because I could see it in her face. I was like, when I told her she could go, that she needs to go be with her girl or whatever, she felt away because she's like, you're just going to let me go? Like, you're just going to let me go? Like, you're not going to try to fight for me or something. You know how girls do. I don't know what it is about females wanting you to fight for them. I'm thinking to myself, look, I'm not about to get in a fisticuffs with no tomboy, okay? If I whoop her ass, who looks bad? This guy. If she puts her hands on me and I let her do it, who looks bad? This guy. Doc ain't about to do that shit. Okay? Not about to do it. So I let her go. Nigga, no sooner than we separate, probably about that night, my phone blowing up like she's shit blowing up. Like the way her phone was blowing up was the way my phone was blowing up, right? So she's calling, she missed calling, she's texting, she's texting, she's texting. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck she bothering me for? Like dead ass. Like, why are you bothering me? I'm not interested. That's what I'm thinking. So I didn't answer the phone calls. I didn't answer anything like that. Probably until the next morning. So next morning come around, I read all the text messages. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I really want to try to do this, that, and the other. I'm like, okay. So now it played to my benefit by just completely ignoring her and avoiding her. Now she's back into the fold for no other reason at all. So she's calling, she's still texting and shit like like early in the morning. I'm thinking, God damn, what is this chick problem? So she's hitting me up, text messages. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did that to you, or I feel bad. I kind of made her feel guilty for leading me on and shit. Like I really gave a fuck, yo. I kind of laid it on thick a little bit, thinking it's some fucking molasses and some peanut butter, bro. Doc laid it on thick as hell. I made her feel. I forgot to tell you that. I made her feel like the most worst person in the world. Like, how dare you try to use me as your cover, and how dare you try to use me as like this dude that you just used, knowing you really like girls but you don't like guys. I said, I feel so bad that you used me. Oh, this is what foreigners were telling me when they say that all Filipinos were alike. Dude, I was fucking throwing in the role reversal like no tomorrow, bro. I was making this bitch feel so bad. That's why she was blowing me up. I was making her feel so bad about herself. Again, let me make sure you understand my train of thought when I'm younger this time. So I was making baby girl feel really bad about what she did to me and everything. So now she's blowing up my phone and shit like that. I do got the evidence, bro. Charles, I'm gonna have to email you the evidence because I can't put that shit on YouTube. Anyway, so baby girl was feeling bad about the whole situation and stuff like that. And I was like, I said, you can always make it up to me, right? She can always make it up to me. So, to be honest with you, man, we did end up hooking up. Honestly, it did happen, ladies and gentlemen. It did happen. It was an interesting time. It was an interesting time. I can tell you that. But when she came through and saw me the next time, she was really dressed kind of like boyish, like, kind of like she had this like jeans and like a button down t-shirt type shit. I'm thinking to myself, okay, man. I'm thinking to myself, she did a full transformation, but she still had that feminine quality about it. I said, okay. I said, she's still the female of the relationship, so she still has that feminine aspect about herself in the relationship when I saw her the second time. So we go through this roundabout situation and it goes on and off for about 3, 6 months or so. I never knew if her significant other actually found out about us, but what I did know is that she didn't end up being with guys full term. I think she ended up getting pregnant by some dude and having his baby or some shit. And yeah, I seen her. I'm not a friend with her on Facebook, but the last time I did come across her profile back when I was still in the Philippines, I think she was pregnant and or had her first kid. So, congratulations to being a baby mama. I'm happy for her and everything like that. But all I can say is, man, you shouldn't be surprised at the reasons why females do these things, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't see this coming. Right? I had no unearthly idea baby girl was gonna try to use me to cover the fact that she really like girls. Not like I give a fuck, but you know, no, Terry, the kid wasn't dark. It is not the good doc's baby, okay? It was not mine, I promise. At least I don't think it was. I don't think it was. But the kid is not my son. And again, this happened years later, years after me and her was even kicking it. But this situation and this dating situation particularly is one that I don't come across often. I figure, look, man, if a Filipino gonna use you, they just gonna use you, and they may have a boyfriend on the side, and yeah, that'll be the reason. But normally, you never really have them confess to the fact, oh, I'm actually dating somebody on date number two. Usually, you'll have somebody try to finesse you for a little bit more, right? But the fact that she came out, came clean, and she was honest about it and all of that stuff, and I kind of made her feel guilty, kind of let her back into the fold. I play this little tit for tat game with her because Doc is all about the mind games on purpose when it comes to certain females. If you make me feel away, I'm gonna do my thing. But in its essence, guys, finding out that this chick really was playing for both teams, it kind of turned your boy on a little bit. I said, well, damn. I said maybe she got some friends and stuff, but it never got to that level, which disappointed me. It never got to that level because apparently she was at least open enough to spend a decent amount of time with this, tomboy, particularly young lady that she ended up calling her boyfriend. Or BF at the time. And so as a result, I mean, I figure she liked that person enough to be able to claim her. So for me in that situation and how it played out, man, I came out with a W, baby. I put one in the good doc's books, bro. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all locking in, man. 14 in the building, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. Y'all know the rules, man. Y'all make sure y'all caress, molest, and distress yourself all over that like button. It wants it, it needs it, most definitely has to have it. You know what to do. If you guys want to support, please feel free to do so. But like I said, I'm happy and blessed you choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with your boy today. Now you're done. Let's go ahead and get back to the people in the chat. My brother Red, what's good with you? Charles, appreciate you coming through. Steve, I know I shouted you out, pimping, but appreciate you coming through, my man MD. I hope this topic was interesting enough. Okay, I hope it was interesting enough. I mean, some people may feel like, Doc, this was a bit anticlimactic, man. You know what I'm saying? You get me excited, got me going on this roller coaster. I'm thinking you about to hit it, then you don't hit it, then you get back into the fold, then you hit it. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking you on the roller coaster ride, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to sell you the story because in its essence, it's not really all that grandiose. But it's something that rarely happens. It's usually something that never happens. It's very rare that you deal with a young lady that plays for both teams, but tries to hide the fact that they do. Number one, to the family. Number two, and they hide the fact that they're not necessarily all the way interested in you, but still kind of on the fence about you, but yet still trying to rock with somebody else as well. I Who else is in the building? Charles, I'm gonna check my IG in a minute, fam. I'll check it in a minute. They had no clue she had a liquor license. Absolutely not. Family. See, that's the thing about families in the Philippines, bro. It's very interesting culturally wise how sometimes acceptable, sometimes unacceptable it is, right? I know somebody in particular whose younger sister is somewhat on the fence. You can tell it's not really a secret, nor is it a surprise, but the way that they were raised, mom ain't feeling that shit. Moms is not going for it. So it's kind of like there are some women in the country that hide that, but yet and still you have lady boys walking on the street like it's nothing. So it's kind of like some people are in the closet and some people are out of it. Right. And it's the Philippines, and we know that this is a predominantly Catholic country, and they go by the Bible, they go by the rules. There really is no separation of church and state, although they do tell you that there's separation of church and state. There isn't really separation of church and state. So you have some people who naturally conflict with that. It's very rare that you see girls conflict with that more than guys do. Because females, they just do their thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a one and done situation, a little bit of experimentation when you're in college, or, maybe you just have this girl best friend that you're super, 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 super close with, and y'all just so happen to get a little bit closer than you normally would. So it's not something that's out of the ordinary, right? But in some situations, when you know that moms or dads is not going to be acceptable with your particular situation, you kind of hide it. So you kind of find yourself dating guys, even if you may not be interested in guys. In this particular case, she was just she was playing for both teams, not necessarily not into guys, but definitely into girls. And, she felt like she owed this girl because this girl got her through a dark time in particular. So it kind of just played itself out the way that it did, and I kind of felt like it benefited both of us. But yeah, she did not want anybody to know she had a liquor license, man. Playing basketball with the tomboy, then give it a D after a few beers. Hey, man, dude, I put a video out a long time ago, and people looked at me like I was crazy. There was this video, and y'all may remember this video. Some of you may not remember this video. I put it out, then I made it private, or I unlisted it. I can't remember which one it was, but it was this TikTok tomboy video where it was this, oh my god, well, fuck, I gotta remember the song. I can't remember the TikTok challenge it was, but basically the girls are dressed up super tomboyish, and then like when you go to the next screen, these girls are in sports bras or like fucking bra, just bras alone, titties popping out and shit. And it's kind of like, bruh, you don't expect to see that with some tomboys and shit. So when I saw that, I told y'all straight up, man, that shit had me feeling away because the tomboys was looking right in that video. People like, they look too manly and all that shit. I said, fuck it, man. Do you see what she has? Fuck how she looked before she get naked, because that's what I expect. Usually a tomboy is very, very masterful at hiding their assets. They may tie their, fucking duct tape their titties down to some shit to make sure you don't know what they have, wear baggy jeans to kind of hide the fact that they have curves and stuff like that. So me seeing that and then the transformation, I said, yes, sir. Doc ain't got nothing against no tomboys, bro. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't gonna cap. Charles, you ain't never lied. That shit tighter than a wet fist, brother. That should be like a wet fucking fist. Mm. In the best way too, man. In the best of ways, like a fucking wet fist. I'm telling you, man. Shit crazy. Well, he said not so on the tight. It depends on the type of girl you're dealing with. If they are the masculine one in the relationship, they'll be the one using the item more than having it being used on them. So yeah, on the tight end, I kind of feel like the majority of them probably are like super tight. Who they messing with or who they dealing with, they're usually the ones trying to practice their dominant nature on that particular young lady. So for me, it might be about that one. Yeah. I mean, Charles, I'm with you, bro. I think definitely tight. I'm on the tight end. Um my man says you look like the cop on BMF series on Stars. I have no idea who the fuck that is, bro. I don't have stars. My bad. All right. Shout out to my man Mike's Philippines journey. What's good with you, brother? Charles, I'll check my IG in a minute, fam. He said, did this story happen during the reign of Marcus? Terry Edwards, you absolutely right. Marcus reigned terror on everything that was Philippines, bro. I swear, if Marcus could have his own channel, Marcus' channel would probably be the best channel in Philippines history. I shit you not. If I allowed Marcus to have his own channel, talking about my alter ego slash the person that I used to be before I found Jesus and got with the mean one, or before I became the good Dr. Mike TV. That's who I was to all the other girls in the country. I was just Marcus, right? If I allowed Marcus to have his own channel and Marcus provided evidence of all of his situations, first of all, Marcus would be labeled a 304 with the quickness. That's number one. Number two, Marcus would share stories that I'm afraid that the good doc would probably have to delete his own damn channel as a result. Because I'm telling you, if I allow that part of myself to come out, it's pretty much game over. I'm probably gonna be I'm probably going to be worse than the worst person you can actually think in this particular sector that's shared in conquest and things of that nature. Because if I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you. I'm not going to half ass it. I'm going to have to go all the way because I don't want anybody to question my credibility. Or I should say, Marcus's cool credibility. So if I have to go that far, I might as well cancel my own channel and just let Marcus reign supreme. All right. But yeah, Marcus was definitely a terror. Marcus was running rampant on all kinds of shit. My man says, Doc, lately I've been hearing more Hotlander stories of men playing for both teams. Bro, that is a real thing in the States, man. Yes, dudes be playing for both teams. It's not a lie. And I hear that a lot. You ain't the only one, man. But you saying the Phils? Ah, man, you know better than that, man. You damn sure know that them boys play for both teams, man. A lot of them do. And we've had this conversation before. And I used to say this shit a lot, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring it back. But I used to do the pie chart, right? Let's say that the ratio of men to women in the Philippines is 1 to 1. I think that's fair. The ratio to men to women is 1 to 1 in the Philippines, right? But let's say that out of 100, let's say that out of 100% of men, we'll say at least 10 to 15% are gay or ladyboys. Probably even more. We'll say 20% are either gay or ladyboys. The other 30%, in my opinion alone, is probably secretly just in the closet. Maybe they have a relationship, but they're not really into it. The other 30% are probably married, you know what I'm saying, with kids. So technically they're off the market, but they're still in the market. And then about that last little 20% sliver is the available men that Filipinos have to choose from the local guys that aren't gay, that aren't playing the ladyboy role, that are already married or chicks boys and things like that. If you put that pie chart together, that's a rough estimate, guys. So don't quote me on that, but that's a rough estimate. If you consider that only 20% of the available men in the country are actually straight and single, that's pretty much all the women have to choose from their 100% side, or maybe the ones that may be playing with the tomboy game or dealing with their own same-sex relationship. But that's probably not a large percentage of the group that represents the female group in the Philippines. So if you take that into consideration, I kind of feel as though the availability of available men in the Philippines that are masculine, that are still holding the traits that women are looking for, probably slim to none. So you wonder why they date foreigners. Ta-da! Because of the lack of options of men in their own countries. Okay? It is what it is. Robert Morris, he said, "What's good, Doc? Gotta gotta be in the bag today. Appreciate you, man." 010, what's going on with your family? He said, "I'm the best 304 I know." Red, I think Marcus might give you a run for your money, son. Oh man said Atlanta is the San Francisco of the South. I do not disagree with that shit, man. There is a lot of fuckery going on in the South. All right, I'm not gonna lie, Hotlanta got a lot of fuckery going on. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, yo, I see 15 in the building, 16 in the building, man. I appreciate y'all locking in. If you haven't already dropped your like, Doc would highly appreciate that one, man. Y'all make sure y'all caress, molest, and distress yourself all over that like button. It wants it, it needs it, most definitely has to have it. Again, guys, if you want to support, please feel free to do so. But like I said, I'm happy and blessed y'all come through and spend a little bit of time with me today, man. Atlanta is probably the new San Francisco, boy. We got a lot of that running around here. And then what makes it even worse is there's a lot of dudes out here, dressing in their feminine ways and stuff like that. So they kind of out here fucking dudes up and shit too. So it's kind of really, really bad, bro. The ratio of men to women in Atlanta is 1 to 4. Men to women, 1 to 4. But half the dudes on the DL, I figure is more like 6 to 1. Yeah, man, I like those odds, family. I like those odds. But then again, you got so many out here playing for both teams and or dressing like, female when they males and shit. It becomes a fucking disaster. It's a hot mess in Hotlanta, bro. It truly is. Shout out to my man Will. What's going on with you? He said headed to my $230 condo. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man. Hey, have some fun for me. If you're talking about that IG message you sent me earlier, like a couple of days ago, I did see that for sure, for sure. Mm. But with situations like this, guys, I can honestly tell you, man, nothing really surprises me about the Philippines anymore. Nothing really surprises me about the Philippines anymore. Nothing really surprises me about the active lifestyles of both men and women that actually live in the Philippines, right? And there was this interesting comment. Mike, you remember this from our video. If you guys go back to our live show, we had a great live show Friday, man. Me and Mike killed it. If you guys haven't checked out the video about the golden syndrome, make sure you knock it out. Make sure you check it out, man. That was definitely one of the best ones we've collaborated on to date. I appreciate you, Mike, for sharing in that live story. I mean, live stream with me and that story with me. But if you go down to the comment section of that video, there was this girl, and Mike, you answered her. I just didn't answer her. I read the comment, but she said something to the effect of, "Guys, don't get it twisted. Filipinas will always prefer or have preference for their own men." I think she said Korean, Chinese, or some shit like that, right? That's what she said in the comment section. You can go back and check it. It still exists. So she was like, don't get it twisted. They will always prefer the local guys, Korean guys and stuff over all other men. And then after that, it would be the European guys, the white guys, the Latina guys, the black guys, and then the Indian guys. That's what she said. And I thought it was funny. I was like, like Mike said, that's why I didn't say anything against it, because Mike, you said it all right, man. Again, everybody's entitled to their preference, right? And there's nothing wrong with having a preference, but what makes it laughable to me is that the guys that are above us, hypothetically, let's take a look at the guys that are above us on her level of hierarchy, right? The local guys. Like I said, there's only 20%, a rough estimate, that's left that's actually available for at least 90% of the women. We'll say 10% of the women are tomboyish or whatever, and they're only into girls, right? So you mean to tell me that out of the 90, hell, even if we say 80%, there's 80% women, 20% of the guys that are actually left that are available for dating. Okay. Then you want to talk about the Koreans. The Koreans have preferences. They are very picky. Filipinas, just because you're choosing Korean doesn't mean Koreans choosing you, right? Yeah, they go to the Philippines, but just because you choose Korean doesn't mean Korea's choosing you, or Japanese or Chinese or whatever Asian country that's coming in. Just because you like them don't mean they're gonna like you back. Then you talk about the white guys. The white guys like the darker skinned Filipinas. So that kind of leaves a very few small sector of women left. Let's say there's probably that's about at 50%. Let's say that the guys that they like first are probably choosing about 10% of the remaining 10% of the remaining available women in that particular category. That's 10%. So what's remaining is left for all the foreign men. So we'll say probably about half the country. We'll say roughly about 50%. So percent of women that are left for the remaining part of foreigner men coming into the country. So white guys like the black girls. The white foreigner likes the dark skinned Filipinas. Then you're talking about the Latinos. I don't think there's a lot of Latino American men traveling to the Philippines. I don't think so. I haven't heard that. I don't see that. Mike, maybe you know the percentage of Latino American men or Latinos in general that are traveling to the Philippines, but I don't think that it's a lot. I kind of feel like them and black men would probably be on even kill in reference to traveling. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But in that case, that leaves them with, like I said, the Indian guys. Now, the Indian guys are traveling in droves because a lot of them are going there for schooling, right? They're going to, like, especially the area of Davao, and they're opening up these small businesses where they're loaning money, payday loan type of businesses and stuff they're opening up too while they're there. So with all that being said, and you're telling me, and this girl was saying all the things that these guys prefer, I'm thinking to myself, okay, love, they may prefer them, but that doesn't mean they're going to get them. You understand? So you can have preference for anything. I can prefer. See, here's the thing. Doc could prefer a thick ass Filipina with breasts out to here. But if that's not available for me, then I got to take what's available for me. Correct me if I am wrong. Correct me if I am wrong. If I want a female that is top heavy with the thickest ass on God's green earth, but either she's taken or she ain't really rocking with me, she don't give me no attention. Guess what? Guess I got to go shoot my shot somewhere else. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But the way I see it is, look, I don't care what your preference is, because everybody who is real and everybody who is authentic with themselves will tell you this. Look, man, you're gonna rock with who you can rock with. You're gonna rock with what's available to you in the moment. Black, white, or indifferent, right? Black, white, Indian, or indifferent. If you find yourself having a good time with this person, I kind of feel like you're gonna rock with whoever's rocking with you. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, like I said, man, 14, 15 in the building, man. Yo, make sure you drop your like. I'd highly appreciate that. All right. My man says it sounds like delusional black women. That's a little funny. I don't think she was black, but who knows? I don't care. But it is what it is. CJ says Brazil or the Philippines for first time traveler decisions. Brother, I only been to the Philippines. I've never been to Brazil, but if you talk to my man Black Man Travels, who is there right now, I'm pretty sure he could probably educate you a little bit more on what Brazil's like for brothers out there. My man 010 says Koreans only like light skinned Filipinos. Like I said, man, that's taking away the majority of the country right there, or the majority of the available women. Some go for Chinese, Japanese, or Koreans. Most Filipinos are not light skinned. That's why they try and strive to be. Sometimes they fail miserably. Philippines before Brazil. Try Colombia or Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic sounds great. He says, I got a Filipino right now. I picked her up at the bar last night. She's still sleeping. I'm about to kick her out. Be nice, sir. Be nice. Don't try to wipe her up either, man. I agree with that one. He said, I'll check out the Philippines first. The Philippines is a great transition, guys. I love the Philippines. I find the transition and dealing with the women and dealing with the country to be not as hard as people somewhat make it out to be. It takes a minute. It's a little bit of a culture shock. You're going to see some shit, but I do believe that, the transition isn't as hard as some people like to make it out to be. He said Philippines for first time travel only because the dynamic and language barrier is more forgiving. Touche. That is exactly why I would say Philippines first as well. He says the reason that is because they think the men they want them. And ain't that sad? That is delusional. No, you're right, bro. What you said earlier was spot on. That is delusional thinking. Ah, well, look, man, this is what I want. 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 Just because you want it don't mean you're gonna get it. Best way for me to tell them, just because you want it does not mean you're gonna get it. Look, I told you, bro. I would prefer the thickest Filipina I could possibly get with the flattest tummy and just top heavy as fuck. And even if she spits out a baby, her body's gonna snap all the way back to where it was when we first met. That's the type of woman I want. But you know what, god dang it? I know that if this thick ass girl spits out a child, she's probably gonna get fat as fuck. Right? I know this. And the reason I know this is because I've seen it happen. Seen it happen, man. Sometimes that snapback ain't what you think it would be. So ideally, it doesn't matter what you want. Ideally, it doesn't matter what you think you can get or what you think wants you. It's a matter of what you can actually get. And like I said, once women come off that high horse and they start really locking themselves in reality before they hit the wall, they just might have a chance. But if they wait until after they hit the wall, guess what? Not too many of us gonna be looking at them. You feel me? The man I am. What's good with you, bro? Appreciate you coming through, showing love to the good doc, man. Yo, y'all already know what to do, man. Make sure you drop your like on the way in. I would highly appreciate that. But again, man, like I said, we do deal with delusional women in the Philippines. It's funny as hell how delusional some of these women can be, but I just let it happen. I just let them say what's on their mind because, again, they're women. They're going to speak their mind. They're going to tell you what they feel. And I guess they expect you to really give a shit about how they feel, even if they don't really be talking about shit. It is what it is, though, family. It is what it is. Like I said, I respect women, love them to death, man. Without y'all, I wouldn't be getting into that. So I make sure that I give you as much respect as I possibly can. But when it comes to getting it in, all hell about to break loose. Shout out to my brother Smooth Wrist, man. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you locking in. But yeah, man, that's my conversation, man. Again, baby girl waited until the second date to tell me that she was actually dating a tomboy. Wow. Thought that was funny. Thought that was fun too. And overall, it did make me think about how people really are apprehensive about how they pursue, different avenues and different ways of life. My man says, think of today are the fat of tomorrow. Invest in the skinny stocks as long term investments. Touche, my brother. Always, if you give me a stock market analogy, sir, you have got my attention. Treat them like stocks, man. Hold for the long term. Keep them skinny. That is true, man. That's why this whole thick thing it's a fallacy to believe that baby girl gonna have that super snapback. It's just you're asking too much, right? As a foreigner, yes, I want it. As a foreigner, yes, I would love to have that. Don't mean I'm gonna get it. So same rules apply. What you want and what you get is two different things. Again, what I got, I'm happy with. I'm more than satisfied with. It doesn't matter. Like I said, I've created something great with what I have, right? And it's not so much about whether I was first choice or whether she was first choice, because we had that conversation before, but more or less about what you've been able to create with what you have now. So, like I said, man, I'm able to salute to mine and say, you know what? I'm happy with what I got now. God knew what I needed, and I got that. You feel me? Hey, ain't gonna always be what we want it to be, but it's gonna be what we need at the moment we need it. And that's how we rock, man. All right. Unless you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, I'm not holding you to sit here and talk for the next hour and a half unless y'all got something to say. If you ain't got nothing to say, Doc gonna let you be. All right. He says only deal with slim women. If you are bigger than J Lo, you got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. If you're bigger than J Lo, you got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. If you're bigger than J Lo, you got to go. That's pretty funny, man. But I can't really cap, man. That's really a good way of thinking. I mean, I kind of feel like if you have that expectation within yourself to keep your shit together, you kind of have that same expectation with your young lady as well, right? And that's the way I think we need to leave it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, unless you guys got anything else to say, I will gladly let you go about your business. I just wanted to politic with y'all real quick, have a little fun in the sun. But I'm gonna go ahead and rock out. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all coming through. Appreciate you locking in, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, do all the good things. Share this one because I think this story is an eye-opening experience for a lot of us who choose to travel. Try to understand the reason that baby girl may or may not be trying to finesse you, right? Try to understand the reasons why baby girl may or may not be trying to finesse you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, it has been fun. It has been real, but it's time for the good night to go and get to get. So, with that being said, the good doc is officially out. At least Nako Pa'alam, which means I am going now. Bye bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Makita. Peace.